I'm Erica, 35. Standing alone at my husband Leo's funeral, I stared at the three empty chairs in the front row. My parents and my childhood best friend, Lily, were nowhere to be seen. They were the ones who promised to be by my side through thick and thin, but they vanished when it truly mattered. This betrayal shattered everything I thought I knew about family, loyalty, and love. Leo and I met 6 years ago at a local farmer's market. I was in a hurry to get some fresh produce for my shift at the veterinary clinic when I accidentally bumped into him, knocking over his basket of apples. Instead of getting angry, he laughed and said, "Well, that's a unique way to start a conversation." There was something about his warm blue eyes and kind smile that made me feel at ease right away. He asked for my number and, to my surprise, I gave it to him. On our first date, we went to a cozy diner. He told me about his job as a police officer, how he'd always dreamt of protecting and serving the community since he was a kid, watching cop shows on TV. I shared my journey of becoming a vet, and our shared passion for helping others created an instant bond between us. Our relationship blossomed quickly, and within 8 months, we were inseparable. Leo proposed on a romantic beach vacation. The ring was a simple, antique band that had been in his family for generations. "I may not have much," he said, "but my love for you is endless." I was over the moon, but when I told my parents the news, they weren't as thrilled. My mother, a socialite who always cared about status, immediately asked about Leo's salary. "A police officer's pay isn't going to give you the lifestyle you deserve, Erica," she said with a disapproving frown. My father, a successful businessman, was more direct. "You could do better," he stated bluntly. They had always hoped I'd marry someone with a high-profile career, like a doctor or a lawyer. Lily, on the other hand, seemed supportive at first. She was my maid of honor at our small, intimate wedding. But she did make a comment about the venue, saying she was surprised we didn't choose a more upscale place, since my parents could afford it. What she didn't understand was that Leo and I wanted a wedding that reflected our true selves, not a showy event for my parents' social circle. After the wedding, we bought a small, old house in the suburbs. It needed a lot of work, but it had a beautiful backyard where Leo promised we'd grow old together, watching our future kids play. We spent our weekends fixing up the house, painting the walls, and planting a garden. We talked about having children someday, but we wanted to enjoy our newlywed life first. Leo was always my rock. He supported me through my advanced veterinary training, surprising me with study materials and bringing me dinner when I had long nights at the clinic. He made me laugh even on my toughest days. But then, in our third year of marriage, things started to go wrong. Leo began to have severe headaches. He tried to brush them off as stress from work, but they got worse and worse. One day, he called me from the station, his speech slurred, saying he felt dizzy and was coming home early. I knew right away that something was seriously wrong. When he finally agreed to see a doctor, he joked on the way to the appointment, "I probably just ate too much junk food." But the diagnosis was a nightmare. He had a malignant brain tumor, stage 4, terminal. The doctor said with treatment, he might have 12 to 18 months. I was devastated. It felt like my whole world was crashing down. At first, Lily and my parents seemed concerned. Lily brought us homemade meals, and my parents sent flowers. But as the months passed, I noticed a change. Lily's visits became less frequent, and she always had an excuse, like work stress or family issues. My parents called occasionally, but their questions were always about practical matters, like our finances and insurance. 6 months into Leo's treatment, I found a text message on Lily's phone. I borrowed it when mine was charging from my mother. "Have you talked to Erica about the inheritance? Time is running out." I was shocked and heartbroken. I started to notice other strange things too. Some money went missing from our joint account, and a check from Leo's police union benefit fund disappeared. I confronted Lily about it one day when she came over. "The money you lent us, did you take it back?" I asked. She looked at me with a fake look of surprise and said, "Erica, you're just stressed. You probably spent it on Leo's treatment and forgot." But I knew she was lying. As Leo's condition worsened, the hospice team came to our house. They transformed our bedroom into a peaceful space, and the nurse, Sarah, advised me to call my family for goodbyes. I called my parents, but my father said they had an important business meeting and couldn't come right away. He also asked about the insurance claim. Lily promised to come but then texted that she had an emergency at work. On Leo's last few days, he asked me to bring him a locked box from his closet. Inside were our wills, insurance policies, and a letter for me. "I've made some changes," he said weakly. "The house is paid off. The police department's benevolent fund helped. I did this to protect you, Erica. I want you to be okay after I'm gone." Tears streamed down my face as I held his hand. Leo passed away on a rainy Tuesday morning. I was holding his hand when he took his last breath. After the funeral home staff took his body away, I was left alone in the empty house. That night, I opened the letter from Leo. He wrote about how he'd overheard my mother and Lily talking about the insurance money early on. He'd also noticed Lily snooping around our financial papers. He made sure that only I was the beneficiary of his insurance, and he'd arranged for a financial advisor, Mark Thompson, to help me manage everything. A week after the funeral, Lily, my mother, and my father showed up at my door. They brought a casserole and a gift, acting like nothing had happened. I let them in, and then I confronted them. I showed them the evidence of Lily's unauthorized access to our account and the text messages between her and my mother. My mother tried to defend herself, saying they were just looking out for me. But I was done with their lies. I told them that Leo was worth more than all of them combined. He understood what family truly meant. It was about being there, about unconditional love. Ask them to leave and never come back. In the following months, I slowly started to rebuild my life. I went back to work part-time at the clinic. Leo's police colleagues were incredibly supportive. They mowed my lawn, fixed things around the house, and checked in on me regularly. I also reconnected with Leo's estranged brother, Jake. I found his business card in Leo's desk. We met at a coffee shop, and he shared stories of Leo as a kid. Jake had a family of his own, a wife and 2 kids, and they welcomed me into their lives. 2 years after Leo's death, I'm sitting on the porch of our house, watching the sunset. The betrayal by my parents and Lily taught me painful but important lessons. True family isn't defined by blood. It's about the people who stand by you when everyone else walks away. Leo's love still lives on in me, and his final act of protection gave me the strength to start anew. If you've ever faced betrayal or loss, I hope my story gives you the courage to rebuild your life. Remember, true family can be found in the most unexpected places.